flying the French flag solo this year in the MotoGP class. Welcome, Loris, to your home Grand Prix here at the Le Mans circuit. Loris, you're really still at the very start of your time in the MotoGP class. This year you joined the Avintia racing team. But what I would like to talk to you today about is your journey to here, your journey to now to the MotoGP class, because I think it will actually surprise quite a few people. It wasn't the most conventional route. You didn't follow the Moto2, Moto3 and then into MotoGP route. And it wasn't easy, was it?
Yeah, for sure it wasn't easy, and I have a special way coming to MotoGP. Already when you come from Superbike is a special way, because not many riders are coming from Superbike. But even before this, I was riding 125 in Spain, and I really wanted to join the GP in 125, but I was really too tall. So I moved up to 600. Then the year after I went to the European Championship, I won it straight away with 15 years old. So that was a big, I think the first really good thing I did in my career, because already I had Yamaha behind me with Jean-Claude Olivier believing in me, and he always told me that he was going to bring me in MotoGP. And then I did 2 years in 1000 in European Championship, but the bike wasn't very good and I couldn't win any race or be on the podium. And I really wanted to try a Superbike, so I was asking and calling Jean-Claude nearly every week, my dad too, to say, okay, take a Superbike, give us a track, and I was sure I was going to be fast on a Superbike. So one day, I think it was Andrew Pitt that got injured in BSB, and they called me to take a plane, and I went to, I think, Mallory Park to ride the bike from Rob McElhenney. And in the first race in Croft, I did the best result from the team from all the season. I really wanted to do BSB because I was sure I was going to learn a lot of things. The bike had a lot of electronic, like Superbike, the slick tire. It was much more similar to the World Superbike bikes than the European one. So I was only, I think, 18 years old, and I was riding against Tommy Hill and all this guy like Shaky, and I was learning really a lot of things, and also I've maybe the best memories of my career there, because I love the championship. So unfortunately I had to stop by a little bit more than mid of the season, because we had a deal with a sponsor that had some trouble, so he couldn't afford the end of the season. So I really understood it, but it was a shame. So I went back in European Superstock to ride with Kawasaki, and it was very good. You know, the first race I finished second, and after 2 races, the Superbike team called me to ask me if I wanted to just test the bike in Spain. I remember very well Guim Roda telling me, it's just a test, we already have the replacing rider, but it cannot be here, so just enjoy it. It's just because you made a great beginning of the season. I was like, I'm sure I can maybe race this bike. But he told me, okay, you cannot crash. So I was a little bit stressed. You know, I had one of the best Superbike bike with one of the best team. I really thought it was the opportunity of my life, riding this bike. So we made a really good job in the first day, and I remember at the end of the day, he called me and said, would you like to ride the bike for the race? And I was like, yeah, of course, It's my dream, you know. And he said, okay, try to improve a little bit your time tomorrow, and I'll try to push. And if you have to crash, try to crash in a slow corner, he told me, you know. I did the last race in Superstock, and then I moved to Superbike, and that was, you know, okay, now I'm in Superbike, and it's up to me, you know. I was like, okay, maybe all the hard things are behind me, because it wasn't an easy way until this, but after that, even after that wasn't really easy, but that was, okay, the main point of my career.
Do you think all of the challenges, the setbacks, and having to be so persistent, not just you and your dad, has really made you the rider that you are today, or maybe even the person that you are today?
Yeah, I think so, because you know, a lot of riders that here in this paddock in MotoGP had the perfect career, you know, riding from 1 to 5, already had big sponsor behind them and the best team, so they already knew that from the beginning they had only to go fast to be in MotoGP one day. Instead, me, even going fast, I had to find sponsor for the next year, my dad. I had to find sponsor, all my family, I remember very well some races in Spain when the day before going to the race, we had no money to pay the team. I was waiting in the car with my mom that my dad find some money to make me to be able to go to the team, because the team, and when we give money to the team, they was paying the mechanic really, because the mechanic didn't want to build the bike if they wasn't paid. So always had this dream to ride MotoGP one day, and I think, yeah, for sure I'm like this because if I had an easy life, I'm not sure I would be in MotoGP, because sometimes when you don't want to go training or something because you are pissed off after 3 shit race, you're just like, okay, I have so many things behind me. I'm really lucky to be here, so you have to work even harder. So that gives you the motivation and also make you maybe more humble about where you are. I really know what it means to come here. When you are not Spanish, it's really harder.
So what advice would you give to kind of kids out there watching, or young aspiring MotoGP stars or even starlets? What advice would you give to them?
I think the main thing is, if you believe in your dreams, and of course you need luck to even more in this sport than another one, because it asks a lot of money. But if you believe in your dreams, one way or the other, you will have the opportunity to, maybe not to come to MotoGP, but to have a nice career. And the most important is to have fun. That's the main thing. Every time I go on the bike, the first thing I try to have is to have fun, because if you lose this thing, then there is no sense to keep riding. And then yeah, you have to work for your dreams and trying to work the hardest possible.
Well, on that note, have fun this weekend, and we wish you all the best for your home Grand Prix. Thanks so much, Loris.
Thank you.